Right, welcome back to another game of football here at the Clark and Addison Gaming Company. We are testing a new football game, and so this will be a game between the 2022 Vikings and the Lions, the Detroit Lions. So we'll be at Detroit, and all right, let's get this one going. Not going to explain too much, although I do have some more things that are in place. So let me just point those out to you. And get my team set up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll 2d6 dice for each team. So I have blue for Detroit and purple for Minnesota. Now I'm also going to roll 2d10 dice, one purple and one blue. Now a long time ago, a year ago or so, I bought a bag of dice. Now this has if you can see up in there, but it's got all manner of D dice. So from D4s all the way to D100s. So, and they're all different colors, so they have all of those sort of denominations of dice faces in all the different colors. So you get multiple colors. You get kind of a dark color, but then you get this sort of shiny translucent color as well. So it's a ton of dice, and it was only $20 or so. So sometimes you see me playing with all different types of dice, but I like to have the different team colors and things like that, which is kind of cool with a dice game. Not totally necessary. You could just play with two regular old D6 dice. I keep these around. You can just play with these old regular D6 dice and just roll them twice. But what we're doing is we're rolling once for the offense, and then now I've included a defensive part to the game as well. So we got a 13 there. So if we were to roll both of these at the same time, so a 13 on offense would be a short pass to the tight end. And then if we also rolled on the same roll a 13 on the defense, then for a pass play, that would turn to an incompletion. For a running play, that would be the regular yardage, so halfback draw -2, and then you'd add a -1 to that, so it'd be a -3 total. So I've added a little bit of defense. You can see that not everything is filled in, but there's a couple of interceptions. There's a tip ball that could lead to an interception or an incompletion. These are, it's a TD, interception TD if the roll is 10. Otherwise, it's just an interception. And then I've also added in over here, it's a separate chart. I've added in a fumble and an interception chart. So whenever you have a fumble or an interception, then you can roll off of this chart and you can see where the yardage is. There's also a Hail Mary chart. 66 is the only completion. And I've added the onside kick here. So 11, 12, or 13 is a recovery for the offense. And the final chart that I added here was the yak or rack. So yak if it's a pass reception, rack if it's a running back. But there are particular plays here that are in yellow. Those are eligible for either yak or rack yards. So when you hit one of those, you would take those yards, you would roll off this chart, and there's a potential for big plays here. So I was looking at how to get those into the game because really you were just kind of stuck with these regular numbers. So it brings variability into the game. It brings big play opportunities into the game. So if you're on the opponent's side of the field, there's the opportunity to just take it in for a score. So that's part of what we got now. So the chart is filling out a little bit. I created these cards. You can see it's got the team name. This is the year and what division they're in. We have all the different players here, and this is just a basic player finder with lots of typically it's got this is just the NFC North. I put them forward to a page, so one division is one page, so you can kind of print those out as you need. We have their passing and rushing numbers. You can see Chicago only ran the ball. Minnesota only passed the ball last year, and then these two are a little bit more balanced offense. You can see the different players who got in. Two halfbacks, 2 tight ends, 3 wide receivers, their kicker and punter, and then however many quarterbacks I could fit, up to 3. And so obviously you can only play one quarterback at a time, so there's no necessity to necessarily do all this figuring out, which guy got the ball. If Justin Fields is in the game, he's a quarterback, he got the ball, right? He's the one throwing the pass. So it's pretty easy that way. And these little cards are a little bit of an upgrade. These are the old ones, and these are the new ones. So that's Green Bay green. It's hard to see it maybe, but yeah, a little bit of an upgrade from what we had before. Just to have a little bit of team color in there, which is nice. These two you can really tell because they have very distinct and lighter team colors. So, all right. Hopefully you can get that on the screen. You can see them. Okay, I think we're ready in this one. Let's go ahead and go to the kickoff. It's going to be, the home team is Detroit, so let's roll their die for the kickoff, or the coin toss. Excuse me. That's going to be to Detroit. Detroit decides to defer to the second half, so Minnesota is going to get the ball first. And let's see what they can do with the ball. So first quarter, 15 minutes on the clock. We got our downs here, and it will be Detroit kicking off from the 35. Detroit's going this way, Minnesota this way. And we're just going to roll all the dice at once. Don't necessarily need to do that on the kickoff. You don't need the D10s, but just to get in the habit of things. So Detroit, that's a 46. We read the low number first, always. So just like in on base, and we have a touchback. So Minnesota's going to take over 1st and 10 at their own 25. No movement on a touchback, so they're going to start 1st and 10 with 15 minutes left. And they are at their own 25. Last game I played was 28-24. Let's see here. 28-24. It was Miami over New England. So Miami came down and scored with like 3 minutes left in the game and took a 28-24 lead. So that was actually a really good game. Hoping for the same thing here. Probably be able to play out the first quarter before I gotta go. But we'll see how this goes. Usually plays at 20 to 30 minutes per quarter. So we'll see. Depends on how many incomplete passes there are, I guess. So 1st down and 10 for Minnesota. Minnesota's got a 66. The defensive roll is a 36. So a 66 to Minnesota. And what kind of play is it? A 62 is a rushing play. So not a sack, but this is going to be a wide receiver reverse because there was no defense factored in. It's 13 yards on the reverse, and that is to the number 6 receiver, which is Adam Thielen. So they go for 10 plus 3 out to the 38, and that's 1st down and 10. A little trickeration from Kevin O'Connell to begin the game. This is going to be a pass play, a 15. So you can look up here. So we look at our 2 D10s, and I'm going to read whatever team is on offense. I'm going to read theirs first. So 15 is going to be a pass. So between 1 and 60 is a pass. We have a 23. 23 is going to be a play action pass to the tight end. We have a 12, and so no defense factors in. And so that's going to be a good pass to TJ Hawkinson on the play action for 10 yards. And it's 1st and 10. Minnesota from their own 48. 67, that's a running play. And this will be a 35. 35 is a counter for 6 yards. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Brings up 2nd down and 4 for Minnesota from the Detroit 46. 72, another running play. 46, that'll be off tackle for 11 yards. And that goes to Dalvin Cook. So off the edge for 7 yards, that'll take it down to the 39. And that is a 1st down for Minnesota. 13 minutes left in the first quarter is Minnesota on their first drive. 20 is a pass, so 36 is going to be incomplete as the pass to Justin Jefferson falls incomplete. 84, another run play on 2nd down and 10. 24 is going to be a counter for 2 yards, and no defense there, so 2-yard gain. Takes it to the 37, brings up 3rd down and 8. We're going to go ahead and throw the ball here. So you can choose to run or pass as you want to, or you can just always let the coaches decide here, like the coordinators. 100 would have been a rush, but we really need some yardage here, so we're going to throw the pass. 36 is going to be incomplete, though, and that's going to bring up 4th down. 37, 40, 54. Let's try Greg Joseph out there for the kick. 54 yards on this one, and he is here, so it's got to be at least a 22. Otherwise, this is going to be a miss. So Greg Joseph, there's the hold. The kick is up. A 26 is good. And that puts it through for 3. So that's a 54-yard field goal for Greg Joseph. And we'll take a tick off the clock, 11:45. So that's 4 minutes and 45 seconds on the drive. And Minnesota takes a 3-0 lead over Detroit. Detroit will get the ball back, and Minnesota kicks off from their own 35. We got our kicking sheet up here already, so I like to roll just both D6 dice pairs at the same time. We got a 35 for Minnesota, and that's going to be a touchback. Touchback rate in the NFL is about 70% or so. That's sort of league-wide. I didn't do... this is all just league-wide, really. We are at 11 minutes and 45 seconds left in the first. So 1st and 10, Detroit. Jared Goff leads the offense out onto the field. And... well, I did that. Sorry. They're on this end of the field going that way. I like to just kind of keep that steady throughout the entire game. It makes it a little bit easier to remember. Jared Goff with a 100. This is going to be a running play on 1st down. A 23 is going to be off tackle for 1 yard. But we do have the yellow, so that means we got a chance for a run after contact. That's what RAC stands for. So then we roll our 2d6 dice. A 25 is going to be for 0 yards. So he's brought down right where he's tackled. And that's going to bring up 2nd down and 8 as they have a 2-yard gain on 1st down. So pretty simple mechanic, but it does add kind of extra layer of tension and yards to the game. 0-7 is a pass play. That'll be a 34. 34 is incomplete. Basically anything 33 to 36 is going to be incomplete. Kind of helps it to go a little bit quicker in your mind. 27 will be another pass play. 15, that's going to be a halfback screen for 8 yards. A 14, Minnesota on the defense, so almost had a chance there. But that's another yellow play. So a chance for some run after catch. And it'll be 8 yards plus 13. So 8 plus 3 is going to be 11. And that will be out to the 38 for 1st down. Nice play there from Detroit. 1st and 10, Detroit. This will be another pass play. A 27 is going to be a pass play. 16 will be empty set, and that's 4 or 5 wide, so it's going to be a wide receiver. A pass to Amon-Ra St. Brown, and completed for 9 yards. No defensive adjustment there, so that's just a good pass for 9 yards. Takes it out to the 47. Brings up 2nd down and 1 for Detroit. 75, this is a running play. 14 is going to be a dive for -1 yards. Minnesota's no defensive adjustment, but there is a chance for some rack yards. So -1 +1 gets him back to the line of scrimmage as he falls forward and gets back to the line of scrimmage after contact. So that's going to be a gain of 0 and still 3rd and 1. Now Detroit's going to run the ball again. I'm just kind of making that decision. 34 on a run is going to be off tackle, and he breaks a tackle. Let's see if he can get any other yards. So it's going to be 4 yards plus 40. So a 44-yard run as he breaks a tackle and takes it up the right side for 44 yards. That's going to be 10, 20, 30, 40, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way down to the Minnesota 9-yard line. What a huge play as they go 1st and 10 now from inside the 10. 1st and goal. So you can see those rack yak yards really can be game changers. All right, 95, another running play. Why not? 36 is going to be a quarterback keeper this time. So Jared Goff takes off. 34 on Minnesota. So he's going to take off for 8 yards, and that's going to get it down to the 1. Be 2nd down and goal from the 1. And let's go ahead and try to run it in here. They've had good success with the running game. 45 is going to be a slant for 10 yards, and they have 11. So 10 is the distance between the goal line and the end line, plus the 1 is 11. So as long as you're inside that 11 yards, everything's all good. And 11 yards is going to be, or 10 yards is going to be the run. So that's going to be a TD run. 1 yard. And the player is number 9. That's DeAndre Swift. So 8 through 10 is going to be Swift, as he takes it in from the 1. And don't know if I took that off or not, so I will. And 3 minutes and 45 seconds on the drive. Let's see if they kick the extra point. The only miss is on a 1-1. So 7-3 now, Detroit, as they push out in front. And they'll kick off to Minnesota. The kickoff is a 56. That's going to be a touchback. So Minnesota takes over at their own 25-yard line with 8 minutes to go in the first. 1st and 10, Minnesota. They drove down and kicked a field goal on their first possession. And this will be a pass. A 14 is going to be a short pass to the wide receiver. That's to Justin Jefferson for 7 yards. It goes out to the 32. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 3. Vikings run the ball on 2nd and short. It's a 26. That's a quarterback keeper, and that's going to be good for 3 yards as Kirk Cousins picks up the 1st down. And to scramble a little bit. And 1st and 10 for Minnesota at their own 35. 27 is going to be a pass play. 46 is a shotgun formation. This is going to be a pass to the wide receiver Jefferson. Okay, so now we have our first defensive, affectation. If I could use the word. So we got a 46 on the offense and a 46 on the defense. So this is a pass play. So we're looking at 46 on the defense. So we're going to adjust the yardage by -6. So the total yardage. So we have a 17-yard gain. So already it's starting at 11 yards. But it's yellow, so we got to do our yards after catch. So 11 plus 30 is a 41-yard pickup. But it would have been 46, I guess, if the defense hadn't played better. So 10 20, 30, 40, and 1. That's a huge play for Justin Jefferson as he takes it down to the 24-yard line of Detroit. And Minnesota's in business. An 81 is going to be a run play. 25. That's a dive for 2 yards, but let's check the rack yards. 2 yards plus, could be another big one. 2 yards plus 35 is 37, and he's going to take it in for a TD. With the rack yards, you can't really do much about it, so he just runs it in. If he runs for 37 yards, then that's okay. So, it's really the passing yards that I am most concerned about fitting into the window. So it's going to be a TD run for Dalvin Cook, and he takes it in from 24 yards. And Cook with the score takes us down to 6 minutes, 2-minute drive, has 2 huge plays, one from the running back and one from the wide receiver, and that puts Minnesota on top 10-7 early in this one. So a little bit more scoring than I've had in previous games, which is good to see. All right, kickoff now for Minnesota. Kickoff is a 35. That's going to be a touchback as it goes through the end zone. And out to the 25 is Detroit. And they'll take over with 6 minutes left in the first quarter. 10-7 our score. Both teams with a touchdown. Minnesota with a field goal. And that is really the difference in this one. Got a passing play. A 44 is going to be a sack, and that's a loss of 6 yards on the play. So -6 takes it back to the 19. Going to bring up second down and 16. We get a pass play from Detroit. A 36 on the pass play is going to be incomplete, so that's going to bring up third down. And what do you do here? Do you just run the ball? Detroit's going to throw the ball and take that gamble. A 24 is going to be a pass play for 12 yards. That's not going to be enough. And on top of that, 24, 44. Okay, so pass for 12 yards. That's not going to be enough. So that takes it out to the 31. That's going to leave them 4 yards short. And it'll be fourth down. They're going to have to punt. So we get a punt from Detroit. And flip our chart over again, and we get to the kicking charts. We have a punt here, punts and punt returns. So the punt from Detroit is a 35. That's going to be a 52-yard punt. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 1, 2. So down to the 17. And Minnesota with the return of just 3 yards. So out to the 20. So Minnesota will take over first and 10 at their own 20. So we get a 52-yard punt with a 3-yard return. Takes 15 seconds off the clock. And 1 minute, 45 seconds was all that Detroit took off the clock there. So it's going to be first and 10 Minnesota at their own 20-yard line. 4 minutes and 15 seconds left in the first quarter. This is going to be a running play as a 61 to 100. So we got a 61 there. 61 to 100 is a run. 45 is going to be a slant for 10 yards and no defensive adjustment. So I just need to set Minnesota up here. Okay. So that's going to be good for 10 yards. That'll be a first down. 3:45 left in the first quarter. Minnesota first and 10 at their own 30. Cousins is going to drop back on this one. A 16 is going to be empty set as they pick up 9 on the play. That's going to be a pass to KJ Osborne. and no stop. Even if there was a defensive, even if they rolled the same, you can see it's a blank. So that's just kind of a play that's going to happen. So out to the 39, it'll be 2nd down and 1 for the Vikings. We got a 35, another pass play. A 13 is going to be a short pass to the tight end. This will be to Hawkinson. And that'll be 6 yards plus what? 6 yards plus 5 is going to be an 11-yard pickup as Hawkinson with a little run after catch. And that's going to be a pickup of 11. So 10, 11, that takes it out to midfield. And the Vikings have a 1st down. 2:45 left in the 1st quarter. Minnesota driving. They are at the midfield stripe. Here's another pass from Kirk Cousins. Wide receiver screen this time. This goes to Justin Jefferson. And that's going to be a pickup of 5 with some yardage afterwards. Let's see. At least the potential. 5 plus 23, 5 plus 2 is 7. So a 7-yard pickup as he squirms his way and works his way upfield for 7. Ball at the 43. Minnesota 2nd and 3. Here's a running play. A 45 is going to be a slant play off of the edge. That's going to go for 10 yards as Dalvin Cook takes it off the edge. 10 yards down to the 33. And Minnesota with a nice looking drive here as they are getting down the field. 1st and 10, Minnesota after that 10-yard run. 57 is going to be a pass play. That's another empty set. 9 yards, and this time it's going to go to Justin Jefferson. That takes it down to the 24. It'd be 2nd down and 1. '71 is a running play. So on 2nd and 1, they run it with Dalvin Cook. Excuse me. That's going to be off tackle for 4 yards. And you can see there's no defensive anything here. But we do get a chance for some yards after contact. So it'll be 4 plus 2. That's a 6-yard gain. And that's going to take it down to the 18. Nice run there by Dalvin Cook. 45 seconds left in the 1st quarter. Minnesota driving on Detroit. We get a 58. A 58 is going to be a pass for Minnesota. 34 is going to be incomplete. And that's going to bring up 2nd down and 10. 1st down is at the 8 for Minnesota. This is going to be another pass play. A 35 is going to be another incompletion. That's leads to a 3rd down. Let's go ahead and throw the ball here. Be aggressive. A 56 on a pass is going to be a defensive penalty. Let's see what we got here. 36 on a pass for the defense is 5 yards. So Minnesota is going to get 5 yards. We'll replay the down. A little offside there. Kurt with the hard count. And that's going to be a pass play for Minnesota. A 44. Oh, that's going to be a tough one as Cousins takes the sack, gives back everything that they just got, and puts it back at the 19. That's going to bring up 4th down, and the time has run out on the quarter. We're going to get one play into the 2nd. Let's go ahead and send Greg Joseph out there for the field goal. It'll be 36 yards on the field goal. So only these two are going to be misses for something under 40 yards. And the kick is up and the kick is good. So Joseph with the 36-yard field goal. We'll take our 15 seconds off the clock. And so 4.5 minutes on the drive. And the score is 13-7 Minnesota. Right, and that's how the game is playing now with sort of some of these extra layers. So we have the rack yak yards, which is an opportunity for a big play, which we've seen already in the game. And then we have the defensive play here. We haven't gotten into some of these defensive, because here you have to roll a 22 for both teams, which is it's not impossible. It's just a very small percentage that you would roll two 22s at the same time. But if you did, you would have an opportunity for a TD, because then you got to roll another. You have to roll 1d10, and then only if it's a 10, right? For this one, the interception is at a 5 to 10, so it's a little bit higher percentage to be able to hit that one. There's a tip ball interception. That would be a roll of 10. So some of these, it's like where it would normally be a defensive penalty, it becomes an offensive penalty. So it's sort of advantage to the defense, and there's not like huge advantage all the time, but some of these are, you know, sizable yardages that they're taking off on some of these offensive plays. So it does have some effect. Maybe 2 to 5 times a game you're going to actually roll the same number on the dice, and I think it's kind of a cool mechanic. I was laying down, maybe taking a nap or resting, and I just thought, how can I do the defense? And then it just sort of came to me as soon as I shut my mind off. Sometimes that's when things come, right? And then the rack and yak yardage, you know, just an opportunity to get some big plays in there. If you roll any of the doubles, that's going to be the trigger for some of these big plays. A 66 is a 50 yards on top of whatever you got. So that could be definitely a game changing play, because those are run after catch, right? So it's if there's run after catch, then that whole rule about how much is left with the 10 yards and how many yards, that kind of goes out the window, because if you run for 50, you run into the stands, right? I mean, it's different when you're running after the catch as opposed to ball in the air, how many yards before the completion. So you can play where, as long as you get past the goal line, it's a TD. Play however you want, man. It's your game, and it doesn't bother me one bit. But Minnesota will be kicking off for the beginning of the second quarter. This one is 13-7 after 1, and Minnesota and Detroit are headed toward a high-scoring affair. We'll see how it all ends, but that'll be first quarter. That's what I got for this morning as far as time, and I'll be releasing this game soon. I think I'm just going to release the first season, 2022, just free for everybody to play. You'll be able to get it at clarkandaddisongaming.com. And I'll make sure that I let everybody know how to go there and get that. It'll just be a free download. You'll get all of the, you'll get all 32 teams. They're separated out by divisions. So 4 divisions in each conference. And you'll have all the players with their names. So I just went through and did everybody's names and put them in there and figured out kind of by hand, just, you know, what percentage of plays did each one get. So for all of the targets to the tight end, Tanyan got 80% of those targets. DeGuara got 20%, and same thing here. They're all basically 50-50 between Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. Aaron Rodgers, there was nobody else started a game. They have another quarterback on the roster, but nobody started a game. So only if there were starts from a quarterback did I put them down there, because if you wanted to start a game and sort of play as played lineups, you would kind of have that guy there. Or you could just play whatever quarterback that you felt like. If you wanted to play Trevor Siemian because you're a Siemian fan, you know, go for it. So instead of Justin Fields. All right. Well, I think that's it from here. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down in the comments section below. You can go to clarkandaddisongaming.com. You'll be able to get this eventually. I'll let everybody know when that comes out. And then also, I've got baseball. I've got another football game called No Huddle Football that you can see here. And I've got a couple of basketball games. So there's lots to choose from. Lots of baseball games that I have. Cards and dice, all cards and dice, all PDF. Instantly download them after you purchase, and print and play, and you're ready to go. My games are pretty simple to play, and they have good flow, and they are a lot of times using modern statistics. This one is not doing that, but a lot of times we're using modern statistics and really geared toward modern era type games. So if you are kind of missing out on some, modern stuff, or you want more modern things, maybe Clark and Addison is the way to go for you. But check it out. There's a lot on the website, a lot to get. There's another game, Border Battle Football, that I'm hosting for someone. And that's a college football game, drive by drive, similar to fast drive football. And a lot of fun to play. And you can check that out too. That's on the under the football heading at the top. And we'll have more from everything as we go forward. And I'll make sure that this game here gets out there pretty quickly. As like I said, the teams are all done. I feel like this chart is really all done. I've got sort of some extras over here for fumbles and interceptions as far as yardage. And, I think most of these things are completed at this point. Just still testing it out, making sure there's no rough spots. I have to double check the editing. I typed out a lot of these, so I just have to make sure that I didn't make any typing mistakes or anything like that. All right. I think that's it for me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.